to switch the meeting from a work session to a voting meeting in order to handle the zoning ordinance. Can I have a consensus, please? Just give me a moment there.
The mayor's asked for a consensus. We can perhaps do this by resolution. Mayor, if you can ask for a motion, and we can get a second.
I'll make a motion. I have a motion from Louis Vidal. Do I have a second? Second. Roll call.
Jordan. Okay, this is in regard to December 3rd work session, changing it to a regular meeting in order to have a public hearing on ordinance 1485, 2012, and subsequent adoption. Councilman Henwood? Councilman Doran?
Yes.
Councilman Monty?
Yes.
Councilman Vidal?
Yes.
Councilman Jordan?
Yes.
Councilman Rotella?
Yes.
All right, Catherine, thank you very much. We'll see you December 3rd.
Mayor, just for clarification, the ordinance is going to be introduced tonight. Your recommendation, Catherine, that we make that amendment on the MXD 3 Mayville property, move it to the MX 53 zone. Is that it? We'll just make that recommendation, so we'll introduce it tonight. I'll have that.
Do you have that, Craig?
I'm sorry, repeat that, Mr. Bosch.
The property that is referred to as the Mayville property, planners recommending that be placed in the MXD 3 zone. The lot one.
It is 93, 101, 93, 2, and 93.
93,
Block 93 lots. Okay, block 93 lots 1.01, lot 2, and lot 3.03. Correct.
Thank you, Catherine.
What's the MCX3? No, it's not in your report. Oh, we haven't seen it yet.
I'd ask for approval of minutes. We have October 1st, 2012, working 2 closed sessions, and October 15th, 2012. Do I have an approval? Do I have a motion? Second by I mean, motion.
Okay,
Roll call.
Councilman Henwood? Yes. Councilman Doran?
Yes.
Councilman Monty? Yes. Councilman Vidal?
Yes.
Councilman Jordan? And Councilman Rotella?
Yes.
Receipt of bids? None, Mayor. All right, we have ordinance 1480, 2012, an ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 157 of the Borough Code, Article 3, certificates of continued occupancy. In order to modify the requirements for issuance of a certificate of continued occupancy for certain structures. At this time, I'd like to open the meeting to the public on 1480, 2012. Anyone wish to be heard? Valerie.
Valerie Martinez, 16 Hudson Terrace. Can you please explain that, the way for us to
These
how you're changing it?
recommendations came from our code official, who was recommending that certain requirements be required for certain buildings, like certain fire safety equipment.
This was a
that would be smoke alarms, fire extinguishers that be built.
I'd ask that everybody keep quiet. We're trying to, Valerie has a question here. I can't hear anybody, so.
So it's not pertaining to all residents?
No,
and all?
no, just certain.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to be heard? Nana?
I do. I haven't been coming to your meetings for many years. And I almost laugh because I remember when I did attend and we were told, oh, all these little high rises and low rises, don't bring children. I think we just built a school to counteract that.
This is on 1480, 2012.
This is high density?
Nana, this is on,
What is that? Is it the density?
Nana, the open to the public is on 1480, 2012.
It's an ordinance that's changing safety requirements in order to get a certificate of occupancy. It has nothing to do with zoning.
Okay. So my only theory was, I don't know how this fits, because you're,
It doesn't.
It doesn't, Nana, it's open to the public on 1480, 2012.
for safety?
It's what he just said.
This,
What is it
the
again?
discussion, the open discussion is not for the ordinance that you're talking about. It's not for the discussion of the high rise. It's for a completely different topic.
Yeah.
Which is
It's fire safety
fire safety.
concerns for certain types of buildings, yes.
So we're talking
Well,
about-
this does tie in, because what I wanted to say is I'm a victim chaplain with Victim Chaplains of America, and high density makes you a high target, and this is for fire, because as you see, things are different today.
That's a stretch.
It isn't. Trust me, they asked Gene Grounds, the Dallas Police Department asked Gene Grounds
Hold on a
if he
second.
was qualified
We
to
are
deliver
requiring
10,000
a
deaths.
fire extinguisher in buildings.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just trying to bring this in because I know it's never covered.
Anyone else wish to be heard on 1480, 2012? Seeing none, I'll close the open portion of 1480, 2012. Do I have an introduction on 1480, 2012? Dave Jordan, second by Councilman Henry.
Councilman Henwood?
Yes.
Councilman Dorn?
Yes.
Councilman Monty?
Yes.
Councilman Vidal?
Yes.
Councilman Jordan?
Yes.
Councilman Bartolome?
Yes.
Whereas an ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 157 of the Borough Code, Article 3, certificates of continued occupancy in order to modify the requirements for issuance of a certificate of continued occupancy for certain structures hereby adopted.
Moving forward, we have ordinance number 1481, 2012. An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 282 parking lots to regulate parking at the Edgewater Marina Park and Ferry Landing and at the municipal building. I'd like to open the meeting to the public on 1481, 2012. Anyone wish to be heard on 1481, 2012? Seeing none, I'll close the open portion on 1481, 2012. Do I have an introduction? Do I have a second? Second. Do I have a discussion? Read the resolution, please, Rick.
An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 282 parking lots to regulate parking at the Edgewater Marina Park and Ferry Landing and at the Edgewater new municipal building. Councilman Henwood?
We're going to be full next year marina, so we're going to need this, yes.
Councilman Doran?
Yes.
Councilman Monty?
Yes.
Councilman Vidal?
Yes.
Councilman Jordan?
Yes.
Councilman Bartolome?
Yes.
Whereas an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 282 parking lots to regulate parking at the Edgewater Marina Park and Ferry Landing and at the new municipal building is hereby adopted.
Moving forward, we have ordinance number 1482, 2012, an ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater and the County of Bergen, New Jersey, providing for various improvements in and for the Borough of Edgewater and appropriating $805,000, therefore, and providing for the issuance of $544,500 in bonds or notes of the Borough of Edgewater to finance the same. I'd like to open the meeting to the public on 14/82/2012. Anyone wish to be heard? Seeing none, I'll close the open portion on 14/82/2012. Do I have an introduction?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Please read the resolution.
An ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater and the County of Bergen, New Jersey, providing for various improvements in and for the Borough of Edgewater and appropriating $805,000 therefore, and providing for the issuance of $544,500 in bonds or notes of the Borough of Edgewater to finance the same for various capital improvements. Councilman Henwood.
Yes.
Councilman Doran.
Yes.
Councilman Monty.
Yes.
Councilman Vidal.
Yes.
Councilman Jordan.
Yes.
Councilman Bartolomeo.
Yes.
Whereas an ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater and County of Bergen, New Jersey, providing for various improvements in and for the Borough of Edgewater and appropriating $805,000 therefore, and providing for the issuance of $544,500 in bonds or notes of the Borough of Edgewater to finance the same is hereby adopted.
And please ask that we keep the volume down. We're trying to have a meeting here, and I'm having a hard time hearing myself. So, but please ask that we keep the volume down. Thank you. Next up, we have ordinance number 14/83/2012, an ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater amending and supplementing Chapter 200 of the Borough Code to modify the procedures for designating fire zones. At this time, I'd like to open the meeting to the public on 14/83/2012. Anyone wish to be heard? Seeing none, I'll close the open portion on 14/83/2012. Do I have an introduction? Do I have a second?
Second.
We have Louis and Kevin tonight to vote. Can you read the resolution?
Absolutely. An ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater amending and supplementing Chapter 200 Borough Code to modify the procedures for designating fire zones. Essentially now, Mayor, just for quick clarification, the existing ordinance stipulates the locations of the fire zones. The new ordinance essentially provides for the fire official the ability to designate those fire zones without specifically designating the properties in question. Councilman Henwood?
Yes.
Councilman Doran?
Yes.
Councilman Monty?
Yes.
Councilman Vidal?
Yes.
Councilman Jordan?
Yes.
Councilman Bartolomeo?
Yes.
Whereas an ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater amending and supplementing Chapter 200 of the Borough Code to modify the procedures for designating fire lanes is hereby adopted.
Moving forward, we have ordinance number 14/84/2012, an ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, appropriating $290,411 for bulkhead repair at the Edgewater Marina in the Borough of Edgewater in the County of Bergen, New Jersey. At this time, I would like to open the meeting to the public on 14/84/2012. Valerie?
Are you going to apply for FEMA money for that? Yes?
This is,
Are you going to start charging for the bus service to help pay for all this cost of this thing? Thank you.
Anyone else wish to be heard? Seeing none, I'll close the open portion on 14/84/2012. Do I have an introduction? Okay, George. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Well, this is pretty quick with the storm hit a year ago and got this money for us and did repairs that were necessary.
also thank
Thank you, Mike.
Emergency Management Coordinator Christensen for his work on it.
Bobby, I know you filed for this, so thank you very much. You were very tactful. Thank you. Do I have an introduction?
We have that, Mayor.
Se-
Councilman Fidel.
Second, okay, so can you read the resolution?
He introduced it, I second.
I have to. An ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater, County of Bergen, New Jersey, appropriating $290,411 for bulkhead repair at the Edgewater Marine in the Borough of Edgewater, in the County of Bergen, New Jersey. And this is FEMA funding that was applied for as a result of Hurricane Irene last year's.
Council, we have a roll call, yeah.
Councilman Henwood?
Thank you, yes.
Councilman Doran?
Yes.
Councilman Monti?
Yes.
Councilman Fidel?
Yes.
Councilman Jordan?
Yes.
Councilman Bertolini?
Yes.
Whereas an ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater, County of Bergen, New Jersey, appropriating $290,411 for bulkhead repair at the Edgewater Marine in the Borough of Edgewater, in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, is hereby allowed.
All right. Communications petitions. I received a letter from HMFA informing the Borough of Edgewater New Jersey Home Keeper Program, which is intended to assist New Jersey homeowners in jeopardy of foreclosure, stabilize our community, and preserve the borough's tax base, and to help restore the vitality of our impacted community. This program is funded through a federal grant and is for homeowners who are at risk of losing their homes to foreclosure as a direct result of unemployment or underemployment. It provides up to $48,000 in the form of a second forgivable mortgage assistance loan. The loan proceeds the loan's proceeds may be used to cover arrearages and/or approved amount of the homeowner's monthly mortgage payment, including property taxes and mortgage insurance. Anyone interested in this program may contact the toll-free number for the Homekeeper call center at 877-496-4951 or their website at www.newjerseyhomekeeper.gov. At this time, we have introduction of ordinances. Ordinance number 1485-2012. An ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 240 of the Borough Code to eliminate the B2A zone, create new MXD1 and MXD2 zones, and to amend and supplement certain other regulations, including those provided for the R5 zone. Do we have discussion?
Excuse me, Mayor, I'd like to recuse myself.
Megan? Need an introduction?
All right, well, first off, we have Councilman Monti recusing himself.
Yeah, Mayor, I want to just comment on Councilman Doran. He had asked me whether he would be permitted to vote in connection with this ordinance because of a former family relationship between somebody who may be affected by this ordinance, whether he has a conflict. And frankly, I think it's unclear whether he does have a conflict. He does have the right to know when he can participate as an elected official and when he is not permitted as an elected official. I have asked the local finance board to render an opinion concerning Councilman Doran's situation, concerning his status as an elected official and his former brother-in-law who may be, the property may be affected by this. So rather than make an error in allowing the vote that somehow, affect the validity of this, I recommended that he not vote, that he recuse himself until we get clarification, which we expect shortly. So that would be my recommendation. And I believe you're okay with that, so we get that clarification. So
Okay.
that'll be shortly.
So we have Councilman Doran,
He's not going to participate.
we have Councilman Monti recusing himself. Do we have any discussion?
No, we need an introduction.
Do I have an introduction? Councilman Jordan introduces it. Do I have a second?
Councilman Henwood, you second?
Sure. Yes.
Can you read the resolution, Greg?
Mayor, and then also for edification and clarification, Mr. Boja, this will be introduced as amended with the Maybow recommending
Yes.
placing that in the MXD3,
Yep.
Block 93, Block 1.01, Block 2, Block 3.03.
Right.
That is correct. Okay, as amended.
Now, the ordinance, the caption has MXD1, MXD2, it's also MXD3.
Yeah, it wasn't able to print out.
Right.
So it's
Just so
listed.
there's no.
It is listed. It's-
Yeah, it's just so in case anybody has an agenda out there that doesn't contain that.
Roll call.
Councilman Edward,
Yes.
Councilman Vidal,
Yes.
Councilman Jordan,
Yes.
Councilman Bartolome.
Yes.
An ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 240 of the Borough Code to eliminate the B2A zone, create new MXD1, MXD2, and MXD3 zones, and to amend and supplement certain other regulations, including those provided for the R5 zone, was introduced on November 19, 2012, and passes its first reading, will be considered for final passage and public hearing on December 3rd, 2012 at 7 p.m. Municipal Building 55, River Road, Edgewater, New Jersey.
Moving forward, we have 1486, 2012, an ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater amending and supplementing Chapter 494 of the Borough Code in response to a newly passed state law regarding the licensing of massage therapists. Do we have discussion?
Hey, just, Mr. Mayor, just a clarification, was this, I thought we had a resolution on this previous, is this to leave it up, or what are we doing here?
Yes, Councilman Henwood, what had happened is, as a result of a police raid on some of these facilities, it was determined that the municipal ordinance wasn't strong enough to address some of the illegal operations that had been taking place. So at the recommendation of the Board of Health, we amended our ordinance so that there would be police enforcement powers to make sure that type of illicit operation didn't take place in the borough of Edgewater. The state also recognized a need for stronger law enforcement regulating these types of businesses. So the state enacted legislation which, to a large extent, now preempts our local ordinance. So we do not have the enforcement powers that we did under our old ordinance. We still can license the business, but we cannot license the employees. That is done by the state. So that has been taken over by the state, but we still retain certain police powers, making sure the business is in compliance with our ordinance. So this ordinance amends our previous ordinance.
Got it, thank you.
You're welcome.
So this focuses on business?
Yes. They still have to be licensed, they still have to be fingerprinted, they still have to have a background check, but it's just not done by us.
Any other questions? Do I have an introduction? Second?
I'll second.
We got Tony, Dave introduced it. Tony, second.
Councilman Henwood,
Yes.
Councilman Dorn,
Yes.
Councilman Monti,
Yes.
Councilman Vidal,
Yes.
Councilman Jordan,
Yes.
Councilman Bartolome.
Yes.
In ordinance of the Borough of Edgewater amending and supplementing Chapter 494 of the Borough Code in response to a newly passed state law regarding the licensing of massage therapists was introduced on November 19, 2012, and passes its first reading, will be considered for final passage and public hearing on December 17, 2012 at 7 p.m. Municipal Building 55, River Road, Edgewater, New Jersey.
Councilman Henwood, do you have a committee report?
No, it's fine.
Councilman Doran, do you have a committee report?
I would just like to thank Chief Bob Christensen and the volunteer fire department. They just did outstanding job. I had an opportunity to go around and just the men staying at the firehouse throughout the night. Just a lot of time and dedication. We thankful that we have the department that we have under the leadership of Bob. Did a great job the past 10 days. It was rough, but the men were in good spirits, and I just want to thank you again. Also, I had an opportunity to see Kathy Fredo. She did a great job, the EMS and the volunteer ambulance squad. We really have to try to work on this year. I promise them to get a nice home. They deserve it. Again, get there in the morning, 7 o'clock, we were sleeping on cots, just pure dedication for the love of the town. These guys, just every time I went there, it was blankets on them. You know, it wasn't the best setting, but they worked through it, and they just did a great job. So I'd just like to commend Kathy Fredo for guiding her workers and the volunteers that she has. They just did a tremendous job. So, thank you, Mayor.
I'd agree with you. I feel the volunteers are the backbone of this community, and I appreciate all their efforts. Bobby, thank you, and Kathy Fredo, I thank her as well. Councilman Monty, do you have any liaison?
I just want to thank the Recreation Department, DPW, which I'm the liaison for. Not to belabor the point, but it was a great job by everyone. I think everybody's kind of gone over things tonight, and thank God nobody got hurt. And it's nice to be in a community that pulls together. Thank you.
I'd also like to take the opportunity to commend Joe Sullivan, Patty Dalton, and Sharon Sheets. They opened up their rec center as a home to people who didn't have heat, and every night they dealt with people sleeping there. We received 50 cots, 50 blankets, and they did a fine job of making any Edgewater resident comfortable that needed it, and I commend them for that. So I appreciate your efforts, Vinny. I know you were down every day. And you did a great job, as well as Sharon, Jillian, and Mrs. Goldman. So I appreciate that. Councilman Vidal, do you have a liaison report?
Well, I guess it's already been said, but I definitely just wanted to, again, thank our chief, Richardson. Your hair definitely did not look as nice as it looks today during the course of the storm. I was fortunate enough to visit the firehouse during the 5 or 6 day period. Being that I live right next door. Tommy, again, thank you for everything. And Greg, for keeping us informed and sending us updates via text messaging to let us know so we can convey that message over to our constituents. That was very important because we were continuously getting phone calls from everyone, and we're able to make our jobs a lot easier as elected officials. So thanks again.
Thank you, Greg. Councilman Jordan, do you have any?
Yeah, they have a written report from the last meeting. I just got it today, and there's a couple of mistakes that I'm pretty sure to present it for the next meeting. That's possible.
All right. Councilman Bartolomeo, do you have a liaison report?
No report, sir. Just would like to thank publicly all of the town departments, men and women, for their professionalism and commitment. Beautifully executed.
And congratulations to Councilman Doran and Councilman Bartolomeo on their victory. Back 2 weeks ago, which we all forgot about.
Thank you very much. Moving forward, we have resolutions 2012-287 through 2012-307. Does anybody have any questions in regards to these resolutions?
I asked that 288 be pulled.
Councilman Monty is asking that 288 be pulled. Pulled to discuss or pulled permanent?
Permanent.
Mayor, I think it's important that we do some further follow-up on that. That happens to be the Binghamton liquor license renewal. As we know, the Binghamton is submerged water. There are serious violations that still exist, and not to mention outstanding fines that have been imposed against that property, and that liquor license is in no way ready to be reactivated at this time. So
I just think it's hypocritical. How could we
right.
do that and they owe us
I agree.
with no dialogue to come and try and pay this down?
Did we come up with the final number that they actually owe us? Did we,
Well, we met with them last month, correct, Greg? And did you come up with a final number?
Yeah, Steve Curry actually did. If I'm trying to recall what it was, it was substantial. It was, I believe, in excess of that. In excess of that.
Past the $500,000.
Yes, yeah.
That's unacceptable.
We put men's lives at stake whenever there's a fire there. We have equipment that needs to be maintained. This is not just a garden hose that gets put away. So there's just no way to let this particular person get away with not paying the money that he owes the borough. No way.
Okay, so moving forward, I asked every council member to bring themselves up to date on resolutions. So do I have a consent agenda for 2012, 287, 2012, 289 through 2012, 307? So I got Dave Jordan.
Yeah, second.
Second, Bruce, Councilman Whiteout. Roll.
On consent agenda, Councilman Henwood.
Yeah.
Councilman Dorn.
Yes.
Councilman Monti.
Yes.
Councilman Vidal.
Yes.
Councilman Jordan.
Yes.
Councilman Bartolome.
Yes.
Old business. New business. Under new business, I'd like to ask for approval from the council to authorize myself and the Edgewater Sports Boosters to operate their Christmas tree sale at 2 locations. We're not sure where we're going to do it yet. So I'm looking to do it in the Marina building, on the Marina Park. So that's one location, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't, I have some concerns for the parking and the drop-offs at night. So the second location would be at the Veterans Park on the intersection of Route 5 and River Road, where we did it last year. So I'm asking for an approval for both locations, and we'll decide where we see fit.
Mayor, I had Tommy Dickinson because I was curious too if that would fly down for you. He thinks it's an excellent idea. He said he could definitely make it happen, and I'll probably get a lot more notice.
Well, Michael, I appreciate that. I feel there's a lot of positives. I think, the majority of the time we sell the trees at night, and it's the least amount of traffic through the ferry, but at the end of the day, I'm not 100% sure that it's the best location yet, but in the next week or two, we'll decide that, and when the trees are delivered, I just ask for the approval of both locations.
Sure.
So do I have a motion?
So moved.
Very well.
Okay. Councilman Henwood.
Yes.
Councilman Dorn.
Yes.
Councilman Monti.
Yes.
Councilman Vidal.
Yes.
Councilman Jordan.
Yes.
Councilman Bartolome.
Yes.
That's for the resolution approving sports booster Christmas holiday tree sale at either the Marina, 989 River Road, or Veterans Park, Route 5.
Administrative reports.
Most of my information is for closed, Mayor. Just real briefly, as you know, with Veterans Field and the Community Center being under construction, City Place last year offered to do a holiday tree lighting, and they are making the same offer again to us. The tree lighting will be November 30th at 6:45 to 8:45. With the actual tree lighting at around 8 p.m., they're requesting the mayor or a representative of the governing body to turn the switch on. 106.7 Light FM The radio station that plays the holiday music will be in attendance. The Elmore Gelder Elementary School Choir will perform at 7 p.m. There'll be also another performance from a recording artist. They'll have carolers on site. They are doing raffles and prizes from all of the businesses and a collection of gifts. And they're also collecting goods and supplies for Hurricane Sandy relief. So that's on November 30th. Also, Mayor, we discussed this a year ago. So the Borough of Leonia had offered to sell us their tree truck for tree work. Thanks to the efforts of Tom Quinton, they are now donating the tree truck. It's a boom truck, which will enable them to reach higher than they can now. So if we can simply do a motion to accept the truck, and the Borough of Leonia Council did a mirroring resolution as well. So this is for the tree truck acceptance from the Borough of Leonia. And if we could have an introduction and second there.
Great question.
Yes.
Right. Did we do anything with the board hockey and the assistance on some of our older vehicles?
Yes, that was in your consent agenda. There is a resolution there that provided for furniture that we were going to auction. And also there is a possibility that they may be interested in some of the vehicles we're going to auction as well. But we'll address the vehicles at a later date. But the resolution in this evening's package was specific to the furniture, so we are helping out our neighboring community, and we'll help them get back on solid ground again.
Thank you.
I need an introduction in a second.
Do we have an introduction to accept the tree truck from Leonia? I got Michael Henwood and a second from David Wood.
Okay. Councilman Henwood?
Yes.
Councilman Doran?
Yes.
Councilman Monti?
Yes.
Councilman Vidal?
Yes.
Councilman Jordan?
Yes.
Councilman Bartolomeo?
Yes.
Okay. Tree lighting. The fire department first aid squad will be having their Christmas parade. What's the date, Don?
December 22nd.
December 22nd, Saturday. So they will be going around town at their usual stops. And Councilman Vidal, you and I had met with a couple of vendors, and I don't know if you want to perhaps discuss that and get some direction from the governing body.
We met with a consulting firm by the name of Wood that knows their way around the FEMA application process very, very well. The firm was actually started by a gentleman by the last name of Whitman, I believe, Greg?
It's WITT, W-I-T-T.
Okay, and he was head of FEMA under the Clinton administration, and now he has this consulting firm that actually assists or helps out with the FEMA applications. He seems to have provided some insight on different ways to manipulate the whole system and try to get as much money as possibly can for not only damage that occurred as a result of the storm, but certain projects that can prevent any further damages. We could call it something as such as an emergency, got the terminology to use, emergency, I forgot, I apologize for that. But in other words, projects that we could take preventative measures towards so that we wouldn't have some of the disasters that we've been constantly occurring here as a result of some of these storms. So it was very insightful. There are a couple of questions that still remain. Clearly, there's a fee that they make. Their fee is paid by FEMA. It's part of the claim. However, there is a carrying cost because they do bill us on a monthly basis. So they'll provide us with their bill at the end of the month, and we may have to carry that expense depending on how long it may take for us to get reimbursed. So there's some pros and cons to it. Obviously, it's not completely free. We have to lay out the money ahead of time. But the positive side to it seems to be that they seem to know their way around the process very, very well and can help us get monies or funds for other projects around town, such as the outfalls, the storm drain outfall by Hudson Cove, which to me is my biggest pet peeve, not only because I live there, but because every time it constantly rains, we're watching several businesses in the area go through the same process of flooding over and over again. So it's something worth looking into. We've asked them for their fee schedule, right, Greg?
Yes.
We haven't gotten that yet, just yet?
Yes, I actually put that on your login, so that's there. But coincidentally, another vendor happened to stop by.
Oh, really?
O'Brien's Community and Organization Resilience. This company is out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, essentially performing the same type of services. So,
Greg?
yes.
I had a conversation with Louis on this issue, and I really feel that, you know, you're hearing more and more that FEMA has X amount of dollars that they're going to dump them at different places, and even if we're not paying this company, FEMA pays it, that's going to come out of our allotment from something else, and I just really feel that they have to make a very strong case, in fact, in writing, that they can get us more money than we would have gotten minus their fees, because FEMA's going to take the fees into account, that's going to come off of the amount that we get, but I'm always sure of that, so I just want to be real careful with that, because, you know, these consultants are coming out of the woodwork now, and this is supposed to be a government-to-government situation where we apply, we have professionals in you and people that work for us, and they have professionals there. I understand that I'd be a consultant myself, so maybe that's why I'm a little bit worried of it. Thank you.
I agree with your point, Mike. Like I said, I definitely think that we need to look into this a little bit more. I think that we may be able to handle most of this on our own. You know, there may be certain projects around town that we may be able to ask them to take a look at, but again, you know, that's a discussion that we should look into. In the meantime, Greg, did you get a chance to take a look at their fee schedule?
No, I haven't.
By the way, their fee schedule, they include that in the claim to FEMA. This is what the way that they have explained it to us, that if, for example, if we were to get $1 million for this outfall, let's just say, and their consulting fee, let's just say it was $100,000, they would be getting $1.1 million from FEMA. So their fee is included in the claim that goes to FEMA. So that's the way it was explained to us. Again, we've got to take a closer look at this, but just wanted to let you know that Greg and I were able to be only with the one company. We've not met anyone.
Yeah, they just happen to drop off their brochures. Mayor, real quickly, the other items I have, we're receiving our yearly dividend from the South Bergen Municipal Joint Insurance Fund. This year's dividend is in the amount of $27,704.17. And we will apply that to the 2013 premium, so that's less we have to pay. The MEL, which is part of the JIF, Municipal Excess Liability Fund, is holding a seminar for elected officials on the response and recovery of Hurricane Sandy. That is on November 28th, so for anyone who may be interested. Our yearly officials training, so I'll be pestering you in the coming weeks. It is in Woodridge again, like we went last year. And again, we get a reduction in our premium for those who attend. So I would request that everyone please attend. And also, there is an orientation for newly elected, re-elected, and experienced municipal officials on Saturday, January 12th at the Sheraton Hotel in Eatontown. Excuse me, there's one closer, January 26th at the Renaissance Meadowlands Hotel in Rutherford. This is directly tied into the yearly best practices survey that we fill out. So again, this is another seminar that I would be asking for your attendance. So I'll forward those to you as well. Other than that, my other items are all for, oh no, I don't. I have one more, Mayor. I apologize. Borough Clerk wanted me to bring this up. 25-year club. She's just requesting guidance on that. Last year we canceled it, so it's up to the council's discretion as to, we do have inductees this year.
Well, I'd ask for any discussion in regards to the 25-year club. Last year we canceled it because we're running a tight budget, so.
And there was no introduction last year, correct, Jim?
What's that?
And there was no inductees last year, correct?
No.
So this year there is, and we got a lot of feedback. Maybe we can just control the pulse on a little bit, but it's something that people really look forward to.
It's the retirees. It's anybody who's retired. It's a 25-year club. Yeah, there.
What about the FEMA request?
Do we have any further discussion? Anybody opposed to having the dinner?
I think we should have it.
I think we should have it. And you,
What's it entail?
it's usually you know, I know we've had it in the past at Roberto's. It's pasta, you know, chicken, maybe steak, dinner, and, you know, bar is not included. I know that, you know, it's,
Barbara has, I believe, 2 or 3 inductees this year. And she did provide to me a date, which I apologize I don't have, but it is within a few weeks. So
And where is it?
usually in December.
is it at Roberto's?
That's where she has been going, so if you feel differently.
No, I just want to make sure
Does it
that.
have to be in summer? Any chance we can do it in January?
You know what, I think it's all set in stone, so if we're asking if anybody has any opposition to it.
Not opposed to it.
How many people go?
Yeah, how many people attend?
You know what, I don't know the exact number, it's probably a little more than 20, but they're all retirees from the borough of Edgewater. Police, fire, you know, administrators, so either way. Can I take a roll call, please?
We can just do a consensus, Mary. That's fine. All right, I'll instruct the borough clerk to proceed with organizing it.
Okay.
And let's see. We have closed session, Mayor.
Yes, I under my request, I have Hurricane Sandy. I know I spoke earlier, but I'd just like to take the opportunity to commend our fire chief and our volunteer firemen. I'd like to commend our chief of police, William Skidmore. He did a phenomenal job, just as everybody else did, and our police department. I'd like to thank our EMS and EMTs. Captain Fredo was there all through the storm, and I'm sure I'm going to miss some people, but, you know, Jillian Sullivan, Patty Dalton, you know, Sharon Sheese, they pretty much opened up the rec center as a
Donald did some
housing.
work too, Mayor.
Donald was there the whole time.
Jack Warren.
Jack Warren, I'm sure, like I said, I'd miss people, but I just want to make sure that we commend these people, and we look forward to possibly having a meeting one night to recognize everybody. And once again, I'd like to say, the gentleman to my right did a phenomenal job, and Greg, I know you're an administrator and your duties, I understand your duties, but I believe you went far beyond your duties, and I want to thank you very much for the service you provided the Edgewater residents. Thank you.
I know, Mayor, there were some people that came in with Greg here, when we came in for the FEMA that were working, that volunteered to come in and work
Right.
off hours with them.
Right,
I
well,
think he just had
Yeah,
an
we
hour
had,
back.
we had Anne Marie O'Connor, we had Debbie Riley, Barbara Ray, all came in,
Answering
over the course
phones.
of the weekend to answer phones, stay late.
I just want to say thank you, and like I said, I'm sure I missed people, but I think Edgewater comes together in rough times, and I think we become stronger in these issues, and I expect the same thing to happen. So I just want to thank you. So right now, I'd ask that we go into closed session. We're going to go in and discuss administrative and executive employees, DPW mediation, salaries and wages, and part-time employees. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have anything else we want to add?
I believe that is it, Mayor.
All right, so we'll be in closed session.
Can I have a motion and a second?
Do I have a motion to go into closed? Second.
Monty, Jordan,
Roll call.
Councilman Henwood,
Yes.
Councilman Dorn,
Yes?
Councilman Monty,
Yes.
Councilman Vidal,
Yes.
Councilman Jordan,
Yes.
Councilman Bertolo.
Yes.